Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings, distinguished audience. My name is Simanjuntak, and on behalf of my former student and colleague Erwin Anjelo, I would like to present our research entitled Analysis of Different Personalities of Identical Twins in Devil May Cry RPG Game using Psychoanalysis Theory. Let me start by introducing the RPG games. The main character's role and behavior in the RPG game entitled Devil May Cry are Dante and Virgil. These two characters are identical twins or identical twin brothers. In the analysis, psychoanalysis, and defense mechanism were selected to look further into explaining the characters in the object of research. It was also identified that certain psychological tendencies were to be analyzed further, and in this case, whether one or two of the characters showed a psychopathic behavior. And here are the research questions. There are 3 research questions. The first one was to analyze how the characters are in the game, and the second research question was aimed to find the defense mechanisms used by both characters, and finally to identify whether a psychopathic behavior was identified from one of the characters or both characters. The research was conducted as a qualitative research, and using the game as the object of analysis, scripts, dialogues, and scenes were selected as sources of data. So this research considered the game as a narration or as a fiction, as a work of literature. In collecting the data, dialogues and scenes as well as parts of the games were selected in regards to source of data, and scripts and also visualizations were used to support the data being collected. When the data were collected and further categorized, these data are analyzed using the scenes and the dialogues reflecting the characters of both characters of the games, and then data were also used to further reveal the defense mechanisms used by both characters. And here are the results. In analyzing the elements of the fiction, the plot, the characters, and the settings will be presented first, and later on presentations of results for the character's defense mechanism will also be covered. In the plot, we could see that the game were actually, or the series of the games were actually surrounded in the fight between demons and the characters of Dante and Virgil. We could see here that in the exposition it could be shown that both characters met, and then the rising action began when both of the characters work together to defeat the demon king called Mundus. And the game, or the plot in the game, reached the climax when Virgil tells the truth about his original plan. One of the brothers was actually concealing a very devious plan, and this character was shown to be very kind and seemed not to have any negative plot. In the following action, it was shown that the other twin brother contested the plan, the evil plan, and they both ended up fighting each other. And finally, in the resolution, it could be seen that the other twin brother, who were not supposed to be the king, or who was always shown to be the bad person, a bad character, turned out to be the hero. Here are the characters. The twin brother, the first character is called Dante, and the other one is called Virgil. We could see that through the representations of color and also representations of posture, the character symbolizes or represented two opposing characteristics or opposing traits of personalities. On the one hand, Dante was described as a person who likes to say bad words, gives no mercy, and even showing a bipolar symptom. On the other hand, Virgil was always shown in the game to be a charming person, very good with words, sometimes even have the tendency to manipulate others, and always telling what other people want to hear, and this leads to a pathological liar. The place or the setting of the plot or the story in the game took place in two situations, or the two settings. The first one is Limbo, and this is the situation in the aftermath, the demon realm, and the real world, which is called the Bellevue Pier Carnival, that was situated in the past. From the point of view, both stories were delivered from the first point of view, so the games were actually very interesting because a player could feel that they first experienced the characteristics, the characters to be in line with Dante's character, and on the other hand, when they joined the point of view of Virgil, they also experience what Virgil feels and decide or selected. In identifying further of Dante's personalities, Freud's psychoanalysis was used to reveal the id, ego, and superego of this character. As we can see from this example of dialogues, we could see a lot of expletives being used by this character, and this character was always shown to be somebody who always causes problems wherever he wherever he is in. So he's sort of like presented or depicted as not so liked character. On the other hand, Virgil, the other twin brother, was always presented as someone who has charming appearance, and the way he talks would always please his other. From the point of view of defense mechanism, it could be seen that Dante selected isolation, and he also showed passive aggression by using insult or sarcasm, and he also shown to be doing a displacement mechanism. Virgil, on the other hand, had also certain mechanisms in which he also conducted isolation and projection. His manipulative behavior could also be identified from this selection of dialogues, in which even his own twin brother was being manipulated in doing a massive killing towards Virgil's people who supported him to become the next king. In the end of the story, it was revealed that Virgil's main intention was actually not to defeat the demons, but to rule the mankind and the demons. Virgil was further analyzed as showing a psychopathic behavior using the concepts by Anna Freud. It could be seen that this behavior of psychopathy matches the behavior of Virgil. In conclusion, the identical twins were identified as having binary characters. The characters' self-defense mechanism and psychological traits were identified and showed to have interconnectedness. Meanwhile, it could be seen that the characteristics were always related to both characters' childhood backgrounds. Finally, it could be concluded that both characters were actually in support to another, leaving an interesting insight to whether analyzing a character is actually also analyzing the binary character. These views. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.